Hi, everybody. Bill Prince here. I'd like to welcome you to week 3 of Introduction to Law and Legal Reasoning. Have enjoyed the first couple of weeks so far. I think we've had some good work turned in and some good conversations and discussions, and I would hope that to continue for the rest of the class. This week we are going to be looking at issues related to the legal system, not as directly as courts and lawyers and lawsuits and that kind of thing, but these are integral parts of the legal system nonetheless. And we're going to be looking at the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the bureaucracy, which of course is not a branch of government, but it is an area that many lawyers find themselves involved with, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. As you know, under Madisonian democracy, when our country was founded, there was a fear on the part of many of the founding fathers that we would have fought the Revolutionary War to get rid of a king and then replace it with another king, i.e. a strong central government. And we've seen this sort of tension, I guess, between states' rights and the federal government in existence since the beginning of our country, and those issues continue today. But in an effort to kind of assuage the fears of those who were worried about a strong central government, the founders broke our country up into 3 branches of government, with each branch having independent and specific powers to do, and with each branch having the ability to check the power of the other branches of government. And so the legislative branch was created in Article 1 of the Constitution, and of course the primary function of the legislative branch is to pass laws. It also looks at issues surrounding oversight. In some cases, the Senate confirms presidential appointments and that type of thing. But it passes the laws that lawyers and legal professionals are forced to deal with, and that courts are forced to interpret. It also created the executive branch, and of course the executive branch is Article 2 of the Constitution, and in many cases people tend to think of the executive branch as just being the president, but the functions of the executive branch, those functions include enforcement of the laws, and they do that in many times through what we call bureaucratic agencies. And so the executive branch is really a huge part of our government, and it includes, the FBI, the CIA, the IRS, the FDA, the Product Safety Commission, Homeland Security, the Justice Department, the State Department. All of those agencies are included under the executive branch, and their job is to enforce the laws that the legislative branch makes. And of course, the judicial branch's job is to interpret the laws, make sure that the laws that are being passed by the legislative branch are constitutional and so forth, make sure that the actions that are done by the executive branch to enforce those laws are constitutional and so forth. So those are the issues that we are going to be looking at this week. So it's a little bit, off the legal research path. But it is something that we need to spend some time talking about. Excuse me. This week's discussion question, hopefully you will find interesting as well. We're going to talk a little bit about net neutrality, which obviously I think impacts all of us in as much as we're taking online classes and are plugged into the internet about as much as any generation has ever been. So I think that the issue of net neutrality really will bring into focus for you this relationship, sometimes symbiotic, sometimes conflicting, between the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch, and with a particular emphasis on the bureaucracy, because again, obviously the Federal Communications Commission, which is part of the executive branch, was in large part behind this. So hopefully you'll learn a little bit more about net neutrality and how all of this works. So again, look forward to a good discussion. As always, let me know if you all have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything that's going on. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you again next time. Take care.